morning, good morning, good morning. As you can tell, I'm just waking up. It's about, I think 8 something in the morning. Should have been up a little earlier, about maybe an hour. Some strange stuff going on here. What time is it? How about that? It's 8:14 in the morning. I'm just waking up. Trying to get my voice back. Some issues with my son yesterday. There's a lot of strange shit going on here in this goddamn city. And I don't want to think people is playing with people's memories and they stealing money, but it's some strange shit going on. I got 2 different stories gonna be in this video. I told you I was fascinated about that Samantha Wall case. Now, I told you it's a damn shame they go around fucking with people who ain't doing shit. They accuse people who ain't doing shit, who ain't done shit. Then they end up doing something where it affects you on your job because they done accused you or suspected you of something. And they need to put a stop to that goddamn shit. It's a horrible thing when you call yourself investigating something and you fuck around and accuse somebody because you assume they did something and they ain't did anything. Or they assume because they act in a certain way that you did something. And I'm just putting that out there. I'm seeing a lot of that here in this city. But back to the Samantha Wall case. They got a man on trial, Michael Jackson Bolanos, who I truly believe did not have anything to do with stabbing that woman to death. I don't think he did anything. I think he was over there in the area doing what he said he was doing. He was looking for unlocked cars, was rummaging through the cars. Yeah, I believe he was over there doing that. Yeah. He said he had saw the body because he had just got through, rummaging cars. Say he saw a dark figure, so he was kind of hidden to see if it moved or if it was going to make a movement. It didn't. He walked over there, checked. That's what he said. He said he checked. Said the woman was dead. Felt cold. And that may have explained how the blood got on his coat. Because they said blood was on his jacket. But something's wrong here. Because the girlfriend testified, she said that she had washed his coat. And I don't understand how blood ended up on a coat that was washed, if blood was on it at all in the first place. Because like I told you, this is a case that where she had a purse in another room, and the police had went in there and removed some items from the purse and took her to another room to photograph and end up getting blood on the items. I don't believe the man did it. They had no evidence he did it. They don't even have a murder weapon. They found a knife he had and a knife that the ex-boyfriend had. Neither one of them seemed to be the murder weapon. They have no evidence. This man been sitting up here fighting for his freedom. And simply because he was just over there in the area doing some stupid shit. And they got him on camera. And this is what I don't understand. The footage that they showing, I believe it's supposed to be footage. I believe footage of the day of the murder, if I'm not mistaken. Don't quote me on that. It's supposed to have been footage of the day of the murder. They showing him sitting on a pole, looking left. Then they got him walking around the area down there. Now, if you just killed somebody and the amount of blood that they said was at that blood scene, would you walk, and you're supposed to have blood all on you, would you walk from where you killed this person at over into an area of like the Greek town area down here? This area around here is heavily cambered. Said he walked over there towards the, I guess the people that, I believe the casino was still on strike then. I don't remember it being still on strike during that, when that happened. I can't remember if I passed any strikers during the time. I remember them striking, but I don't remember if they were actually still striking when she was murdered. They probably were, I don't know. But he was asked, why would you walk over? He said he just saw a dead body and he wanted to be over near live people. Yeah, because you don't know who killed that woman. She laying out there in the parking lot. So where's the killer? Because he didn't do it. I don't think he did it. He didn't do it. He didn't do it. I don't think he did it. Based on what the news has been saying and the evidence today, it's impossible. He didn't do it. It's impossible. I don't want to say impossible. I don't think he did it. But citing news, like I said, sometimes I'll be in places where, you just, find out shit, hear shit. So, like I said, I'm an Uber driver. Had an interesting passenger yesterday. Female, Caucasian lady. Guess where she stays at? Over there where Samantha Wall was murdered. Yes, you heard correctly. Over there where Samantha Wall was murdered. Said she was her neighbor. Stayed 5 doors down. She's in the car talking to somebody on the phone. I just picked her up from, I forgot that place. To do the windshields. She on the phone, telling the individual, car got broken into. So, well, if Michael Jackson Bolanos is in jail, he's not the one that is doing the break-ins over there. If Michael Jackson Bolanos is in jail, he's not the one doing the break-ins over there. Because they said there was a lot of car break-ins over there. The area is secluded. It's hidden by greenery, evergreens, bushes. It's like a secluded. You see the apartments, but the further you drive down the side streets to get to where the parking at down there, it becomes like a secluded. You'd actually have to go down into the parking area to really pretty much see. Because where I dropped her off at, you wouldn't be able to see it from the street. But back to the story. She's telling about the break-ins and cars over there. They're having a lot of break-ins. And then the news had put that out. They were still having a lot of break-ins over there. Now, this place has patrol security. But you got break-ins. Patrol security, but you got break-ins. And the same security company that they have was the same security company that was at Alden Towers when I was complaining about they were coming to my apartment. They had ate my potato salad. That's the same security company that was over at Alden Towers patrolling outside. I don't know if they were responsible for going in the building or walking around in the building, but it's the same. It's the same security company. It's the same security company. So back to the story about the lady. And then I'm going to get into something that's going on with my son that's very odd, very strange. She's on the phone. She's telling the individual about a car. They bust out her back window. So when I heard that, I said, well, this Michael Jackson Bolanos didn't do it because he's in jail. So who's doing the break-ins? If Michael Jackson Bolanos didn't do it, who's doing the break-ins? And you got patrol security over there who never noticed anything. One of the security guards they had on stand, they asked him, he didn't even see the body. He was told about the body. Now, he was working that day, doing patrol, didn't know there was a dead body in the parking lot. If you're doing patrol security over there, you would be going up and down those side streets, up in the parking lots. So, I don't understand how you completed your shift as a patrol security and you didn't find this woman laying out in the fucking parking lot dead. Well, back to the exciting passenger in the car who was telling a friend, whoever she's talking to on the phone, yes, we had a murder where she stays at. Yes, my neighbor, Samantha Wall, was murdered. And she said she don't believe the man that they have on trial did it. She said she had the same problem Samantha Wall did. She had a stalker boyfriend. And she mentioned Samantha Wall's ex-boyfriend. Said mentioned that he was a stalker. Creepy. That's what she said. I believe it was the ex-boyfriend that did it. That's who I believe did it. I believe that man confessed and then turned around it turned his confession into a psychotic episode that happened because of the medication, and then got his psychiatrist involved to confirm that it was delusions. I believe the man confessed when they said he did. I believe that was an actual confession that he did it. And then he turned around and recanted confession. I believe the man planned it and then put into play certain things that would result in him getting immunity for his testimony, which he did. They said he had immunity where nothing he said could be held against him. Now, how the fuck do you manage to do that? Now, this man is I believe that man is the actual killer. Her ex-boyfriend, the one that had the glasses look all funny, the one that put the link to the story. I believe he did it. She doesn't believe Michael Jackson Bolanos did it. She said he was creepy. She said Samantha Wall's ex-boyfriend was creepy and that he was a stalker. This is a neighbor from over there. I believe, after hearing all this testimony and stuff, I believe they got the wrong man on trial. I believe the killer was in the trial, but he was not on trial. He was testifying at the trial. And I've never seen no shit like this before in my life, where a killer sat up there on the goddamn stand and played like he didn't do it and put it all on the medication. So let me tell you what I think happened. Now, I remember reading a news story where, see, that's why I don't like this fake news that get posted. And they need to come out with something about that, especially if it's coming from a credible news source like a news channel 247. We have channel 2, 4, and 7 here in Detroit, the main ones I watch. And go through and look for stuff going on in the city of Detroit. And I read in a news story, and I got a good memory. I read in a news story that he supposedly had a key to her place and didn't return it. That's what I read. Now, why would somebody put that out there in a news story under a credible news channel here that we look at? Just like when I told you that video I posted about the chief of police and the prosecutor, where when I first watched the video, it said she was stabbed in the head and somewhere else. And then when I rolled back to it to hear that again, I no longer heard it. And that's why I made a video and posted it and told y'all to look at the video and see, do you hear her saying that? Mentioned about what she was stabbed at in the head and somewhere else. And also she had mentioned about an alarm system that I no longer heard in the video when I rolled it back. That is true. That's what I heard when I first watched the video. Who changed the video that quick? So, I say that to say this, back to the passenger. She described that ex-boyfriend as a creepy stalker. She was having that Samantha Wall. She said Samantha Wall had the same problem she had. She had a stalker boyfriend. This woman in the car said she had the same problem, a stalker boyfriend. Michael Jackson Bolanos, I don't believe did it. I believe her ex-boyfriend did it. I believe the man confessed and turned his confession into some sort of psychotic episode, some sort of tried to pan it as being a delusion. Got his shrink to confirm it was delusion. So they brushed him off. I believe he's the killer. He had security cameras at his place of residence, which is near me, around in my area. Oh, he's off of, I know where they mentioned where he stayed. When they mentioned this grocery store he shopped at, the Honeybee, I know where that is. That's the area over there that I know of. And I go through that area. I used to drive trucks through that area. I used to come back with loads through that area. I passed that supermarket all the time when I was driving trucks. When I pick up people, I'm over in that area. I take them over in that area or drop them off in that area. Not often, but I'm over in that area. Not far from here. But back to the woman in the car. Now, this is Samantha Wall's neighbor. She said she don't believe the guy that they have on trial did it. And then she went into the story about her Samantha Wall's creepy boyfriend, ex-boyfriend. The one that sat up there on that stand and played like it was a medication made him say he harmed somebody. He wanted to be stopped. But let me tell you what I think he did. Now, that's why I say I don't like the news posting stuff that's not correct. Why would the news? I read that in the news story. Now, that's either, see, if the news, this the problem. If it ain't the news and that video that had the prosecutor and the chief of police in it when they were talking about the charges that were brought against, when they were talking about the Samantha Wall case, if they had nothing to do with the video being changed, here's the problem. Did she say that in the video? And if she did say that in the video and it got changed, who changed it? Who printed in the news that he had a key to her residence and never returned it? Now, either I'm dealing with a ghost that knows how to do video, change and alter video, change a news story at the moment I'm looking at this stuff. And maybe I'm dealing with a ghost reporter that's reporting itself. That must be what it is. It's got to be a ghost reporter for it to say one thing. I hear one thing. And then next thing you know, it's gone. Now, the news story, I went back and looked to see if the wording's been changed about the key, him having the key. I remember reading that he supposedly had a key and never returned it. But when they asked the boyfriend on stand, did he ever have a key to her place? He said no, but he knew where one was. He said no, but he knew where one was. I heard in that video the prosecutor was mentioned something about the alarm system. Said the motion detector detected motion inside the apartment. Where am I getting this stuff from if I didn't hear it somewhere? Where am I getting it from? These videos that they posted, this stuff law enforcement posted, the prosecutor's office. This is a video with the prosecutor in there where I heard this in the video and then no longer heard it. That's where I heard that information from. That's why I went into the story about the alarm system, because I've had an alarm system. They questioned the boyfriend about the alarm system. That man sat there on the stand and said, they asked him, did he hear the chime from the alarm door? He said no. No. He said, I believe I also heard him say the alarm wasn't set. How you know it wasn't set? And whether it's set or not, I think he used the reason that it wasn't set for him not to hear it. Whether it's set or not, I've had one of those home alarm systems. I've had Brinks and I've had ADT. If my alarm is not set, the door still chimes. And mine was the one that talked. It'll tell me what door was open, front door, side door. It would still chime when the door opened, when the system is not set. So now this man claimed he dated her for, I think he said a year. And in a year, you're telling people you don't know nothing about the alarm system? And you done been in an apartment? Bullshit. Let me tell you the scenario I think happened. I think Samantha Wall came from a wedding. She did. The event she went to, I think they said it was a wedding. I think she came. Oh, let me put one more thing out there before I get into this. They said, I heard in the testimony, that there were no defensive wounds on Samantha Wall. Now, this woman been brutally stabbed, but there's no defensive wounds on Samantha Wall. Now, that is Detective 101. An idiot knows what that means. A good detective would know what that means. A real detective would know what that means. A victim that is stabbed multiple times that has no defensive wounds. What do that mean? Do it mean she was caught off guard so quick that she didn't have a chance to defend herself? Or is it she knew her attacker and she wasn't expecting that to happen? And then when he attacked her, that's why she don't have no defensive wounds. She wasn't expecting it to happen because she knew the attacker. That's what I think. She knew her attacker. There's no way in hell you get stabbed that many goddamn times. And even if you was ambushed, you're going to be fighting for your life. You got to have something, some cuts, scratches, something on you. They said she didn't have no defensive wounds. Now, I don't know if that's a lie or is that another ghost reporting, putting this out for me to hear. Okay, let me go into the scenario about what I think happened. I think the ex-boyfriend was already in the house. He didn't hear the chime at the door because he was already in the house. And I don't know if he deactivated the alarm because they don't ask the right questions to get to the right answers. Because I heard in that video from the prosecutor that they said the motion detector detected motion inside the apartment. I need to know, did it detect motion inside the apartment before Samantha Wall returned to her apartment or as she was entering her apartment? When she was opening the door, did it detect the motion inside the apartment before Samantha Wall arrived to her apartment? Was it picking up movement in the apartment? Because if it did, because the alarm would have to be set for them to say that the system picked up motion inside the apartment. That's why I understand why he would say that the system wasn't set. The system would have to be set for it to pick up motion in the apartment. It would have had to been. And if it was set to pick up motion, then now we need to look into the alarm company on why why she wasn't notified that there was possibly somebody in her apartment. This is depending on when it picked up the motion. Did it pick it up after she returned? Or before she got there? Because if it picked it up after she returned, we still got a problem with the alarm company. That means she was attacked as soon as she got home. She never had the chance to deactivate the alarm. That's why it was picking up motion. And if it picked up motion, the alarm company should have started calling her to ask was everything all right. And when they couldn't get her, they should have immediately called the police, sent for law enforcement. That's the way that go. And if it detected motion prior to her getting home, she should have been called and contacted that there was somebody possibly in her home, so she could be warned and call the police. See, that motion, it comes down to that motion in an apartment. Was it before she got home or during the time she got home? That's the question that needs to be answered. And they don't ask the right questions. They had the killer right there on the stand in the courtroom. I've never seen nothing like this before in my life. This motherfucker sat there and played like he didn't confess he did it. Then turn around and said it was medication. And then they got his psychiatrist statement from psychiatrist. Yes, it was delusions. It wasn't delusions. This man planned this whole goddamn thing. Even to the point where he drove out to Kalamazoo, called the police saying he was having some psychiatric issue, talking all crazy, and mentioning Samantha Wall. He called her Sam and all this stuff. You think he harmed somebody and all that and whatever. Now this is planned. That was fake to get law enforcement involved. Because while he was out there doing this little skit shit he was doing, he got his psychiatrist on the phone. Got his psychiatrist involved. This is stuff he's putting into play to confirm to go along with his story that it was the medication and then delusion. He's having a psychotic break or whatever you want to call it. He got Kalamazoo police involved. I couldn't believe it. I'm like, this man this is the most miraculous shit I've ever seen for my life. The killer sitting right there on the stand watching another man being accused for a crime that he did. And sitting up here and play like it's some mental thing. Well, this video only got to 30 minutes, so I ain't gonna be able to get the part in about my son. I'm gonna have to make another video. Because some shit going on with my son that I don't understand. All these interactions with law enforcement, something happened to, now my son, I told you my son, well, I'm gonna get into the story real brief. My son got a ticket over in Hamtramck where his license had got suspended because of the ticket. Didn't tell me, so I wouldn't pay the ticket for him. I talked to them. I said, well, this remove the suspension? She said, yes. It'll remove the suspension on their end, but he still needs to go down to the Secretary of State to make sure everything was everything. They gave him some papers to give to him to take with him in case he had got stopped for anything, to let him know the tickets were paid. The ticket was paid. And I told him, they said he needed to go down to the Secretary of State. Now, I remember my son telling me that he went to the Secretary of State. And he said his license was intact. That's what I remember him telling me. Now, I don't know if he's lying or not. But see, my son seems to have a bad memory problem. He seemed to can't remember shit that I remember him telling me. And I say this, my son said he got pulled over again. My son, I don't know. Law enforcement keep pulling him over. So he said he was at a corner trying to make a turn. He pulled up to try to see to make a turn, and said the officer pulled him over. Said he turned on there was a sign that said no turn on red. My son said he didn't see it. Then the officer ran his plates. I don't know. They said ran his plates and said, your license is suspended. And my son had got all the papers that the court, told him to show that he paid the tickets and all that. Because now the court told me the suspension was lifted. Because the suspension was supposed to have been from Hamtramck. When he got pulled over the first time, that's how he found out about that he had his license suspended. And it was because of a ticket. And he asked the officer what he had to do. The officer told him, you need to go pay the ticket. That's what the officer told him. You need to go pay the ticket. It'll remove the suspension. Now, the suspension was from Hamtramck. I went in there, paid it. They removed it. Now, my son that just told me yesterday, he sent him a text message talking about his license suspended. He got to pay a reinstatement fee of $125. I was like, what the hell are you talking about? Say he got pulled over on 4th of July, turning on a no turn on red sign. And they said his license was suspended. How the fuck is that? Now, I paid that ticket a long time ago. How the fuck is your license suspended? They said they removed the suspension. Then they said you need to go down to the Secretary of State to make sure everything was everything. He told me he had done that. That's what he told me. Now, I don't know if that's a lie or he just can't remember he did that. And his bad memory has been costing him a lot of money. Me a lot of money. His bad memory. He seems to have a bad memory of doing shit. So the officer told him he had to pay a reinstatement fee of $125. Now it popped up. He got to pay a reinstatement fee. That is, he said all this time his license was suspended. Was it really? Was it suspended all this time, or it just popped up suspended all this time to get $125 out of you? And a lot of that been going on. I told you I made a video, and this happened right after I made that video, talking about how they make shit pop up, talking about you owe shit. This happened right after I posted that video, and I'm 100% certain that these motherfuckers here in this city has been playing a game. They think these videos that I make is some sort of game that they supposed to go out there and put into play. It happened right after I made that video talking about how they make shit pop up, talking about you owe this, or they be changing shit to make it look like you owe and all this other shit, or doing shit. It happened right after that. And I'm 100% certain that they've been playing games off the videos. And I guarantee you they're going to be trying to play some game off this video. But I end up having to pay the $125 for them. I don't have any money to be paying this shit. Just popped up out of nowhere. He told me he went down to the Secretary of State. But he talking about, he don't even remember me telling him that they said he had to go down there and check to make sure it was nothing on his license. He don't even remember that he told me he went down there. And because he don't remember this shit, all of a sudden there's stuff popping up. Like I told you about all these tickets. See, my son stayed here at a apartment building downtown a while back, years ago, when he moved out of, from when he was staying with me. The town apartments downtown Detroit. Now, this is an apartment building that has metered parking in front of the goddamn building for the residents. And the parking meter lady down there be on a prowl. A shitload of their residents has got nothing but tickets trying to park at their own residence. I don't know why you have metered parking in front of an apartment residence. So my son used to park there, and the meter people start at 7 o'clock. My son be asleep because you had to get up at 7 o'clock and go put money in the meter so they won't bother you. My son was asleep. So that's how he ended up with the parking tickets originally. Then he tried to park somewhere else. He tried to park over at the casino, ended up with a ticket over there. They watching my son. That's why he ended up with this shit. That's why they be in the area when he turning corners. That's why they be in the area when I see them. We're being watched. We didn't do anything. I don't know why you watching us. I didn't do anything, but you seem to be watching us. While all this, you doing so much watching of me, you didn't catch the motherfucker that changed my goddamn journal. But you watching me. But I say this to say this. My son, talking about they talking about he had all these parking tickets. I said, how the hell you got parking tickets? You don't live in that apartment building no more. I paid all them tickets. And let me tell you what I noticed when I paid all them tickets for him. I paid the tickets when he told me he had parking tickets. I was working for Endurance then, driving heavy haul to the landfill. I paid the boys' tickets. I paid all of them. But they talking about he got all these parking tickets now. But you did that? What? How do you get parking tickets? When he was working down at Campus Marches, he wasn't parking nowhere to get parking tickets because he was aware of what the parking meter do. But let me tell you something I saw one day. This is on a Sunday. They don't give out parking tickets on a Sunday. And let me tell you something I read online one day. It was a story that popped up when I was Googling the parking meter people. The parking service here said they operated on Sunday. No, they don't. They don't operate on Sunday. But I read that online. Let me tell you what I saw one day on a Sunday. I was out Ubering. I was downtown Detroit. I saw a parking meter truck, city of Detroit, car, turned down the street. A parking meter person on a Sunday. And it says it on the parking meters, they don't operate on Sunday. Could it be they've been giving out tickets on a Sunday and saying you got it during the week? I wonder how many other people this happened to. I wonder how many other people this happened to. Because I know what I saw that day. It was a Sunday. I saw a parking meter car downtown Detroit on a Sunday. Now, back to my son's story about the parking tickets. I paid every last one of them. But let me tell you what I saw. Because He gave me the ticket, and I went on there and I paid him. And I seen he had some more. So I went on ahead and paid the rest of them. Then I went back on there. I saw a ticket pop up on there out of nowhere. I said, you got another ticket popped up here. How you get another ticket? He didn't know. I paid every last ticket that was on the list. And then one popped up after I had paid all of them, cleared them off. Because I was checking it. I was watching that. A ticket popped up out of nowhere. And that's when I told him, I said, well, that ticket is on you. Because I done paid all these tickets. A ticket popped up out of nowhere. Wasn't even on the list. It popped up out of nowhere. I paid all his tickets. Law enforcement has been pulling him over. And I don't know what's going on here. The boy's homeless. Now, all of a sudden, his license is suspended. He got to pay a reinstatement fee. And all of a sudden, what he was doing for income, then locked him out of his accounts, talking about it was something with his license. And he was just doing DoorDash the other day. But all of a sudden, yesterday, he got locked out of all his accounts. For some reason, yesterday. When he tells me he got to pay this reinstatement fee. So, I don't know what the fuck going on here. But all I know what I remember. What I know I saw. What I saw pop up after I paid all them tickets for him. I paid that shit. I don't know what the fuck going on here. My son is homeless. Now they done something where he don't have no income now. And I don't know why they fucking with my son. They done fuck with my family here enough. You didn't want to get me justice because of what Warren Truck Plant say done to me and how me and my family living. And you've been letting people fuck with us. They've been fucking with my son. Now, I don't know if he out there doing something or he just being fucked with. I don't know. Because this is a little bit unusual. That I paid that ticket and after all this time, all of a sudden, your license, you got to go pay $125 to the Secretary of State? When you told me, he went down there and he said it wasn't suspended. He said he went down there. So how can he go down there and it's not suspended? Then all of a sudden, when he get pulled over on the 4th, it's suspended. See, that's how they make shit. That's how they get money out of you. They make shit appear. All they got to do is just say it. They make shit appear. And a lot of that is going on because of these videos. My son didn't do nothing to you. My son ain't did nothing to nobody, to my knowledge. I haven't done anything. I'm the one that stuff being done to here. And they not doing anything about it. Under they watchful eye. This is the problem. Under they watchful eye. This happened. They come in my apartment and change my motherfucking journal. Under they watchful eye. Ain't that a bitch? You out there outside watching. They come in here and switch my journal. And didn't do shit about it. Nothing. They've been stealing money from the bank. They've been stealing money through shit I done created. They've been stealing money by popping up shit saying that we owe this. And I'm sick of that shit. Somebody in this city needs to be held accountable. Somebody needs to be held accountable for this goddamn shit. This shit is wrong, what you've done to my family. This shit is wrong, what's going on here. My son is sleeping in his fucking car. Now you do cause we don't have no income. Talking about the apps, all of a sudden doing a background check on him. For what? What do you think the boy done? I'm tired of these false accusations where you running people's backgrounds. They did that shit to me when I was in trucking. They did that shit to me. They said I couldn't read. You believe that? When I was driving trucks, they said I couldn't read. Ain't that a bitch? Accusing me of not being able to read. And I remember I used to go in the at truck stops, and they would ask me, do I see this up there on the wall? Like they were testing me to see if I could see. They said I couldn't read. Then they said I couldn't see. They were running my license, doing background checks on me. I go to an FBI background check. They did the same shit to me. Why are you running our backgrounds? What do you think my son did? What's going on here? He's homeless. And he got that way because of this shit. I believe that shit that happened to me in trucking was because somebody was investigating something. And them companies knew about it and they got rid of me. Because they were thinking I'd done something. I believe they were investigating something and the companies knew about it. I believe this shit affected me out there in trucking. I do. And the shit ain't stopped. Now let's see what happened after I make this video. Because they like to do shit after me making videos. Let's see what happened today. Because every day I come out there, they got shit planned. Let's see. My money is already hard to get doing Uber now. It's like they planning trips. It's taking longer and longer to get trips. They acting like ain't nobody scheduling Uber now. Talking about the demand is low. That's bullshit. Everybody's taking Uber. It's like they got me picking up specific trips. So I'm just documenting what's happening. And I'm telling you, they are playing games off of shit I write and what I post in these videos. This shit that happened to my son happened right after I posted that video. Just popped up. He told me it already went to the Secretary of State. See, my son may have a bad memory, but I don't. Don't get caught. Don't get caught stealing money. Don't get caught. Now, to put it out there, what the fuck I remember. What I know, I fucking saw.